That's all right.
Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
Places. I'm not here. Places we had. I remember the fake moon landing. I was in Mrs. Robinson's room.
No, she's talking about like where she
I
walked.
know Mrs. Robinson's class.
So there was two portables there. There was the office block here where Mr. Leonard was, and then there was two portables here, and then we went into the old buildings that ran down, and the entrance was down past that big tree.
Right down the bottom.
Yep.
The playground.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they could walk further because they were younger.
And that was run by, what was her name?
Oh, don't tell me. Oh, no. Miss Quinn.
Miss Quinn, there you go.
We had a Miss Quinn in our school.
Not like this Miss Quinn.
Oh no, this Miss Quinn was.
Oh, David, she was lovely.
Yeah, she was a Freemason, I reckon.
She was okay.
She's part of a society. She's Fabian.
I don't think you liked any of your teachers. Did you like any of them?
He didn't like school very
No,
much.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, Mr. Meany and Mr. Bannerman, because they used to Wednesdays at sport, Mr. Meany and Mr. Bannerman, we used to meet them up the pub at Woonona.
Yeah.
Do you know that he used to meet his teachers at the pub normally?
We'd have a schooner, a few of us.
Did
Yeah.
you know that?
Of course I didn't, Mel.
Well, now you do. On a Wednesday sports day, he used to meet his. I think you should report his teachers.
Why were you such a beaver kid?
Well, it was Mr. Meany and Mr. Bannerman that wanted the beer. We just tagged along.
Oh my goodness.
I think those teachers.
Hooper's
need
Hotel.
reporting.
We used to go to Hooper's Hotel out the back. Remember when I used to play up at Balls Paddock in front of all them big crowds, yeah, in front of Safeway United, and have all the WOG teams come down, and we had to go around and rile them up. We did. That was what we were told to do. Yeah, give them heaps. Yeah, we were the ball boys after we played.
Oh, David, I didn't know.
Those teachers need to be reported for taking students to the
How
pub.
many years old?
They're probably retired.
You asked Norell about Mr. Meany. He used to. roll boogers out of his nose and put them on the desk and flick them at people that were talking.
Oh, and you knew that?
No, but I found out later.
Oh, that's gross.
Misdemeanor.
Imagine one of those stuck in your head. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, that was...
And teachers got away with it back then.
Yep. All right, guys. So I just thought I'd play. I got a few videos Saturday night before last. Yeah. Of Mum, for some reason, I just pulled my camera out and started filming her. And we've got some really good videos there of conversations with me and Mel. It was an absolute crack up. But yeah, guys, I got to tell you, big weight lifted. All right, and I'll explain to you why. You know, my mum was different, man. Everyone's going to say that about their mum, but my mum was different, all right? She was a very, very beautiful, loving lady. She loved the Lord, and she didn't see wrong in people, and she couldn't do wrong by people. You know, it just wasn't in her vocabulary, and I've got a good clip about her mum, actually, that we'll get on one night. But, guys, what happened was I knew she wasn't happy right where she was, but you know, she used to tell everyone, yeah, I'm happy, I'm all right, you know, I'm cool, that, you know, if I got to be somewhere, this is a good place to be. But anyway, we knew that things probably weren't going that well for her, but as I say, nothing I could do. So in a nutshell, guys, she's been wanting to go with Dad for 6 months now. If you know about this, there's actually, and the girls told me about this today, and I can imagine this is a spiritual bond between my dad and my mum. You know, a frequency bond because of how we are, guys, and how we're built. So I always knew that my mum was going to die of a broken heart, you know, after Dad left. So 6 months is the time for him to actually do it, guys. So what happened is 2 nights ago, me and Mel went out Saturday night and we took her a coffee. And when we got there, she was having trouble with a coffee that she got from the home and she wasn't happy with it. And, you know, and she was in a turmoil and in a tither. And anyway, so I was pretty quiet that night. Mel done most of speaking to her. But, you know, we more or less talked about how she just had enough and she'd been here long enough. So when we left her that night and got her settled down on Saturday night, we left and she was fine. As you see in the video, that was just a week ago, all right? There's nothing wrong with Mum except a broken heart, guys, all right? And anyway, we left on Saturday night, up our 7, 7:45 at night. Mel's friend was on afternoon shift, so had been with Mum and us while she was in a bit of a tither, and then she was going to be on the next morning as well, you know, not that we knew that. But anyway, Mum's got up the next morning, so I told her I was going home to pray that, you know, the good Lord would give her her wishes and she could go and be with Dad and little Jess. So, you know, we come home and, you know, I just had it on my conscience, just talking to the Lord quietly, you know, that, man, this is enough, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't want to be here, Lord. This is, you know. So anyway, she gets up yesterday morning and they get her up, they put her in the shower, right? And then they get her out of the shower and she sits in a little chair there in front of a telly before she goes for breakfast in a room. And they leave her for 10 minutes and they come back and I'll tell you what went on. I can tell you my assumption of what went on. She sat down in that chair and she was satisfied. Why? Because she was clean. She had a clean hanky. All right, this is how she worked. You had to have a clean hanky. She had clean underwear on. She'd had a shower. And she sat down on that chair and she's gone, Lord, David, Mel and me spoke about this last night and you're not holding up your end of the bargain. And I think you need to. And guys, that was it. I got a phone call to say that my mum had peacefully passed away. And she was. I went in and seen her. She was in a little chair there in front of the telly. And as I said, we got to lose them someday, guys. And the turmoil of them being there. If Mum was in a home environment, I think it would have been a totally different thing. But being in that environment, they get so confused, guys. And we'll talk about it later. We got a show to get on with. But, yeah, they get very confused. You know, like my mum was 2 weeks in hospital and then in the middle of the night got shifted out to a nursing home and then that was it. A life began there and she was just so confused with what was going on. And it just, you know, it's really sad. So, what I want to show you there, guys, is that God is good, all right? And God knew when Mum had enough, and God left it until I got those videos of my mother, all right, and then, you know, got some memories that, you know, I get into trouble for taking, you know, off particular people. But again, those particular people come into mine and Mel's presence, and we see what we're up against here, guys, is a spiritual war. You watch the demons in other people jump up and down, and that's a sad but true statement, guys. That's what we're up against. This is a spiritual war, all right, and the good Lord's taken Mum. And as I say, big weight off my shoulders, because I know now that she's at peace. She's got Dad, and she's got her mum, and she's got her dad, and she's got little Jessie, and the list goes on, you know. So to everyone who's sent a message, wrote a message in my post and that, thank you very much, guys. All right, I'm going to try and get back and at least respond to it and hit a love heart on them and that. But the funeral's Monday at 2 p.m. at Corrimal Uniting Church, guys. All right, so anyone in Wollongong, you were more than welcome to come. It will be a big funeral, I can tell you right now. There will be a lot of people there. But, yeah, guys, 2 p.m. on Monday. And I will actually put out this week, I'll put out the link so if anyone would like to watch it online, yeah, you could watch it. So, again, thanks, guys. I love you all. She's gone to a better place. And, yeah, I think... Hey?
She's with her soulmate.
With her soulmate, yeah. And I think that just shows us, right, when you really want and you really, you know, and she would have got up this morning and had a bit of a dig at God and said, mate, come on, you know, come on, let's go. I mean, it's not normal. You don't just have a shower and then sit down and even though she'd had the, you know, she'd had the juice, but that's another story, guys. I do believe that my mum was protected from that because, you know, we are told in the scriptures you could put your hand in a nest of vipers, be bitten and not die. So I do believe that the good Lord had his hand over my parents when they were duped in the convent scam. Anyway, there you go. Let's get Cazza in and start a show. But thanks again, everyone. It was, you know, unreal. I got up this morning looking at all the comments, Cazza. I was just crying, mate. It was just so nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is that it's just peak conditions. I don't know. It's just like she just chose to exit when everything's getting all heated up. But anyway, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We got Franco
right.
here. These are the guys that did the protest the uni party, and kudos to them.
I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the Lima Declaration. It was signed in 1973. Our government signed this over to the SEC. Right, we're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Right, that Lima Declaration was to remove Australian industry. Back then it was about 28%. On the vise that we're going to be helping third world parties and third world countries and all the rest of it. We've now exceeded that to 98%. So we took a self-reliant nation that could manufacture and have now just made us reliant on everybody else. We used to make everything. All our textiles, all our industry was made in-house. Our steel, all of it. But who do they sell us out to? Right? They sold us out to Unico, back then, which is the United Nations. Unico back then was called the United Nations Industrial Complex. That's who our government has sold us out to, and we're listed on the SEC. We're not even a nation. We're nothing more than a state, right, with an ABN number. We've got third-party corporations that pretty much run this country. All our
Look, we'll leave it there because we're running short on time. But yeah, well done, Franco. And yes, they did. They signed the Lima Declaration. All of our industry was exported to, well, mainly Asia, actually, China and Japan. And then they got wealthy off our industry and came in and bought us up. So there's
took our forest, took our
guys.
timber, took our coal, took everything, mate. They were on top of it all, Caz. Open arms, mate. Yes, give me more. And our government just gave them more and gave them more. All under the directive of the WHO. Yeah.
And as they got wealthier, we got poorer. So, and now we pretty much own nothing. So anyway, look, you know, but we're getting it back. So that's all right. Look, let's just have a listen to Charles here because Charles also put out a really good live the other day.
That a committee member of mine at Infected Blood Australia persuaded me to open up a GoFundMe. For 30 years, I'd never asked for any donations. I'd actually forced a number of inquiries here in Australia, and I did it with my own family's money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own family's money. Well, my mother died last year, and she wanted me to retire, okay? She wanted me to stop fighting for victims of public health. But in recent times, I've had, really not good friends of mine tell me that they just can't get any relief. And what does the public health system have to offer? It offers terrible drugs, terrible addictive and dangerous drugs like gabapentin for pain, or this awful drug Lyrica, which is connected to suicide. And do you know what? In part of my research for what I'm about to do, I actually visited the pain clinics at hospitals. I went to interview some of the doctors that worked at the pain clinic at Royal Prince Alfred, New South Wales. I think they suspected I was investigating them because one of them said, are you an investigator? And no, at that time I was just interested as a patient, but yes, I was investigating them. And for several weeks they asked me, out of scores of 0 to 10, to tell them about my pain, and then to tell them about my relationships and tell them about my family. And what astounded me was at the end of all of that, guess what? Their suggestion was Lyrica, the very thing I was investigating them for. Because you see, this drug is so connected to suicide. They wanted to know why so many people in pain are being prescribed these dangerous and addictive drugs.
Look, again, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
Excellent life.
Yeah, but on that, Caz, when I got bitten by, not a lot of people know, but when me and Mel first got together, it was a lot of years ago, I got bit by a white-tip spider and nearly lost my arm. They had me on gabapentin, and then the next thing they put me on, because I had nerve damage and that from it, right, was the next thing they put me on was Lyrica, and I was on 1,200 milligrams twice a day. They had me on of that Lyrica, guys. Dad said I was walking into walls, you know what I mean? Like, this is 15, 16, 17, 20 years ago, okay? Before I knew anything, you know what I mean? But, man, that Lyrica was bad shit, man. Yeah.
Well, look, we've got a lot of the health stuff. He goes on to talk about how dastardly the healthcare system is. Guys, go and have a look at his live. It's brilliant, actually. But it's really dastardly. And you can see why, because you've got people like this person, and asylum is a win-win for us and him. So basically, should Anthony Fauci like to flee Donald Trump's America, Australia could certainly do with his skills. Are you for real? We're dealing, he's being investigated at the moment. This is the standard of journalism we've got in this country. Like, it's unbelievable, and you've also got this Muppet here. Not that I feel sorry for him. We actually should pray for him. Now, he pushed the jab. Jab. He has to undergo urgent brain surgery after an aneurysm. Yep.
Yeah, I've got a friend in just had brain surgery. I heard of another one when I was looking at the feed on that person's, that they put up on Facebook, that there was someone else who'd also had a brain aneurysm. It's just, formaldehyde. Anyway, I'm not going to go there.
Well, that's it. And then you've got Albo wanting to spend more of our money. We've got homeless in Australia everywhere. And listen to this Muppet now.
Australia will play a role, as we always do.
In rebuilding Gaza?
Yeah, absolutely. As we always do. I'm appalled by the terrorist organisation that is Hamas and the atrocity that they committed on October 7. But Palestinians have paid a very heavy price, including innocent Palestinians, for Hamas's atrocities and for the ensuing.
Yeah. When are they going to get educated, Caz?
Well, here's the thing: is that it's funny. It's really interesting because, like in ancient Chinese history, when they wanted to overtake somebody, they would put in a weak leader. They would lobby and put in a weak leader of the neighboring country. Okay, yeah. And then that way it would demoralize the people that he was a fool, he drank too much, or whatever it was, whatever foibles he had.
Character assassination.
Well, the thing is that they just needed to have a weak leader. And when you look at somebody as weak as Albo, you've got to wonder. Miles Gow said that the CCP spend $10 billion a year paying off our media and our politicians, and you've got to kind of look at that and wonder. I mean, who would actually have him as a leader, honestly?
Yeah, well, you got Penny Wong over there in Poland at the moment. You know what I mean? Back in, Poland. Oh, we'll help Ukraine all we can. Like, no, are you kidding? You idiots!
And
Get back
Dr.
to Australia and listen to
Dr.
us
Lehman,
people.
and Dr. Lehman outed her and said she was a bloodline CCP. Nobody suspected because she came down. Her family came down through Malaysia. So there's lots of questions that have to be asked about this, and the whole situation with this, like. This person here who has done this, now this is a sackable offence, okay? The misappropriation of funds, okay? So New South Wales Transport Minister Joe Halen apologised for using taxpayer-funded driver in a private winery trip over Australia Day long weekend. Okay, now it was 446 kilometres and 13 hours in total. Now, like... It doesn't matter. All gifts in the public service over $50 or that's a misappropriation of funds. It's a sackable offence. What is she doing there? Why isn't she being sacked? And this guy, he gets it.
Right, hey, full on Oz trucker today. Wife beater, the whole lot. Now, quickly, Joe Halen. What a disgrace. What she did does not pass any test, and I don't really care if it's within the rules, right? It's not within the rules of anything that a decent person would do. I would no more think about spending my boss's money without permission than fly, right? All I can say is a good job she didn't get a bottle of Grange or take a ride in a helicopter or something, And men's, there is such a thing as leadership. These two people should be demoted immediately. Put them on the back bench. At least make a show of punishing them. Holding them responsible.
Exactly. Like, that's what we expect.
Excuse me. Sorry. Couldn't get to the mute button quick enough.
No, that's
when you got to sneeze, you got to sneeze. Okay.
Well, that's exactly right,
Yeah.
So,
it's exactly. And you're exactly right with what you were saying, Caz. It's disgraceful, mate.
Okay, look here. All the responsibility you abdicate will be taken up by tyrants. Okay, that's what Tori says. She said that's the cardinal rule of social organisation. Anything you abdicate will be taken up by a tyrant. Okay, you don't want to go to these school meetings. I get it. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, it will be taken up by a tyrant. Don't want to go to your council meetings. I get it. Okay, it's a pain in the butt. Will be taken up by a tyrant. Anything you abdicate will be taken up by a tyrant. And this is why we're in such a damn mess. Okay.
Yep. This is why we need to get into our councils and that, guys. All right, it's coming on. All right, we're in February. So who's going in to get into their council meeting? Who's talking? All right, where's the people from your schoolyard you're going back together with now so that you can get a posse of 40 people to walk into council and have some sort of effect? Come on, guys, it's time to go.
Well, that's it. And you can see we're in such a mess. Now, Madison King, she's running for the Senate, and all the people in Western Australia should get behind this woman and vote for her because she's amazing.
Yep. What sort of standard in society are we allowing to continue when a man who's abused 9 children sexually in Australia and gets community service, but a young man who graffitis buildings gets sent to prison? Whose morals and judgments and ethics are the courts following? Truly, who are they following? Because we are very much aware that we have a lot of MPs and senators within the Australian Parliament that have done the same thing and they still get the pension when they leave office, even after the heinous crimes that they have committed.
And they're trying to open up a $1 million fund for the victims, not of the pedophilia, the victims of people the perpetrators, or the family and friends of the perpetrators, not the victims. It's unreal, and you can see that because, like, look at this. This is from 2019. Yeah, MP's pedophile dwarf son walks free after pleading guilty to 35 child sex offenders. Like, and you can see that they really just don't care. Like, they're just going all out. Dutton.
They said that they were of a small, short category, but Caz, yeah. Anyway.
But Peter Dutton brags about record immigration and vows to bring in a golden visa. So what is he like? So people are going to be able to pay. Okay, it's going to be wrought. A whole system is wrought. Not only that, he's talking about, Albo's talking about making it equal for somebody to come here with the equal qualifications. In India, you can go and buy a degree. So go over there for a couple of weeks, go and buy a degree, and then come back here, register yourself as a doctor and set yourself up as a practice. What is to stop you? It's just like the insanity of it is just beyond me.
I like that one. Where's this one going? Say hi to Asio. Anyway, hi Asio. How you going?
Yeah, and get out and do your damn job.
Ready for another battle this year, guys? Because I think Trump's got us on the front foot here, guys. I'll be thinking about what I'm up to. Just
and shame on you guys. Shame on you guys. How dare you call yourselves Australian? Every society needs a warrior class, needs people to protect. Do the right thing. Go out and protect the innocent. And this is what you are fostering. You're protecting these people. It's just disgusting. Shame on you.
Yep. Too right.
And shame on you here. Again, like here's this situation now. The residents of the Aboriginal crime-ravaged town of Moree are planning a protest march. Now, this cyclist, he was 52, and he was struck and killed by three teenagers in a stolen car. One driver had a 38-page criminal record, including 90 bail breaches.
It's like, just unbelievable.
It's the purposeful disintegration of our society. They are doing it on purpose, and we are seeing now with what's coming out about AusAid how corrupt it was. Now they went into a lot of trouble to try and stop Doge. Here's Alex Jones's brief report on it.
The Treasury quit. Others refused to give over the codes to the federal Treasury database of payments going back, because they digitized them going back over 100 years. And the last 30, 40, they've got detailed down to the penny, and they know exactly who got what and where. And it is a free-for-all of crime. One of the biggest takeaways, we have all the documents right here, is that for decades, even when funding ended, they would never even end the funding and would just keep paying whatever forever. And you've got Democrat senators, Republican senators, House members, foreign, current, on these boards of NGO nonprofits getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars a year, in some cases billions per organization.
So you had that. Now this has just gone wild over social media. It's just unbelievable. This is a really good breakdown and of what it is. Yeah, the Doge. This is mainly Doge. Now what? So Elon took in. I think he's got 6 people working for him. They went in to get the keys and the codes, and it was a full-on battle for it. And they refused. Anyway, they ended up getting them anyway. Somebody's been sacked. Somebody else is under investigation. It is a full-on battle, and it's a really mighty battle too. So, but they ended up. They got the codes and they got the information, and it's just showing an absolute crime spree everywhere. Here is the guy that breaks it down really well.
Now, the Trump administration has completely shut down the USAID website, which is the agency responsible for humanitarian assistance around the world.
No. USAID is not just a humanitarian aid organization. It is a front in order to run covert intelligence ops around the world, to do coups and regime change operations and all kinds of other criminal activities. In the mid-2000s, USAID was exposed for building a, quote, fake Cuban Twitter designed to lure in young users and slowly feed them anti-government content to spark protests. USAID was also involved in the 2014 coup in Ukraine, which some argue has led to the war in Russia now. And this stuff goes back decades and decades and decades. In 1973, USAID helped pump in millions of dollars to overthrow a democratically elected leader, Salvador Allende, to install a dictatorship that would be more friendly to U.S. interests. The organization is also involved in other sketchy activities like this, pause to read, and also this. Very interesting rabbit hole if you want to go down it. All the while, USAID was actively pressuring media organizations around the world to censor certain narratives. My point is, I'm sure there are some people on the ground doing good work at USAID. I'm sure there's good people doing good work. But at its core, it is a criminal organization. I just thought people would benefit from knowing this context.
That's right. Now, people were looking at the documents, and what they found is USAID, Eco Health Alliance, and the CIA were all involved in funding and creating COVID-19 in the Wuhan labs. So USA funneled $53 million to Eco Health Alliance. Oh, and it gets even better. So what they did, people have been looking at like other documents with regards to it, and it's this push to prosecute Trump. Remember Alvin Bragg was a Soros. Soros was a minor co-funder. He gave them $10,000. That's it. The $14 million he gave to the parent company. Okay, so it's unbelievable. And then you've got this one as well. So you have USA gave nearly $15 million to George Soros's Open Society Foundation over Obama's last 4 years in office alone, which conducts extensive work in West Bank, Palestinian region. So it's incredible. And also, Watch Your Guru is reporting that the former senior advisor to the Federal Reserve, John Rogers, arrested for leaking trade secrets to China. So it is all going down at the moment. It is crazy.
We got people out in the public actually saying, watch how Hillary trades and copy her because they're cleaning up. You know what I mean? This is what's going on out there, guys. You know, this is like, it's right in your face.
That's it. Look, we're at 1:30. Let me just bring on the flyers because we've got so much on this week. Go, guys. In New South Wales, we have the following events. In Sydney, every Monday, join the growing numbers for Monday at Maggie's. Gather together to end the tyranny by showing loss of confidence in the government. Monday at Maggie's from 11 a.m, Macquarie Street, Sydney. Come and celebrate our freedom and support for each other, our culture, and play music at the 832 muster from the 7th to the 9th of March 2025. The location is at Rollins Plains Recreational Reserve. The address is 28 Bilberil Road, Rollins Plains, which is 40 minutes northwest of Port Macquarie. The 832 muster will be at Deniliquin, New South Wales, 28th to the 31st of March. There's a court call-out, a special mention for Serena and Eric at Wodonga Courthouse on Wednesday the 5th of February 2025 at 9:30 a.m. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. In Canberra, every day for over 1,000 days, the freedom fighters have been protesting at the Governor-General's. To join in, meet at the National Rock Garden at 10 a.m. to expose the 28, or tune in on YouTube at #expose the 28. And February is a huge month for the people in Canberra. On the 7th of February, it is a 3-year anniversary at the Governor-General's. On the 8th of February, they will be on the lawns in Canberra, and on the 12th of February is the epic reunion. The People's Grand Jury Indictment Picnic will be held at 12 o'clock on Saturday the 8th of February at Magna Carta Place in Canberra. At 12 p.m. there will be a picnic, 12:30 there will be a speakers, and at 1 p.m. there will be the People's Court Grand Jury. My Place Gympie are holding an information evening on Wednesday the 12th of February 2025. It's 6 p.m. for a 6:15 start at 735 Mary Valley Road, Long Flat. And My Place Gold Coast are hosting an information evening on Tuesday the 11th of February 2025, 6 p.m. for a 6:15 start at 154A Scarborough Street, Southport, Queensland. And Jodie Lowe from 241 last year will be hosting a Real Farmer Day. Say no to Big Harmer on February 15th. Make the biggest exit the Who sign that you can. Say no to Big Harmer on Real Farmer Day. There's a free event on Saturday, February 15th. It will be held at 44 Coringal Road, Emerald, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Bring a chair if you choose. There is a call to action for ratepayers of Mundaring Shire, Tuesday the 4th of February from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Would you like answers to the COVID-19 response? Your vote matters. There is an urgent need for court support at the sentencing of Laura Adele Hinks. Laura urgently needs support and witnessing at her sentencing. She was found guilty of the abduction and attempted abduction of her own children. This is at Darwin Supreme Court on February 14th.
Daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 146233923.
All right, and on the back of that, guys, we got, just to let you know, we've what have we done about the documentary that went out? Have you chased up your event number in your town? Have you got onto your police? I just remembered about that. Okay, so guys, we've got all these tools. We need to use them. Okay, that documentary is brilliant. Have you sent it to your family? I have.
Yep.
Okay, what have you done with it? Because that is all the facts of the crime, guys. Okay, and we need to use it. So, sorry, Caz, go on.
Yeah, no, that's right. Look, that's right. Somebody just said that Francis Boyle. Now, Francis Boyle, he was a professor at MIT, I think it was, and he said the Pentagon was behind the mRNA shots. He was the first one that said that the COVID shot is a weapon of biowarfare.
Yeah. And
he
died
died
the same day as my mum.
That's exactly right. So
there you go.
Amazing timing. There you go. And
Fast,
you've just got
say, not die. Fast.
You've got so many things that are just happening at the moment. You've also got Pete Hegseth, and he has kicked out the major media from the Pentagon press office. So they're all, Politico's gone, NPR, NBC, NYT is gone. The new players are New York Post, Breitbart, ONN, and HuffPost. So incredible, crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, well, it is. But I tell you, from what I'm seeing and what's going down, man, this is one hell of a background sting. All right, there is some people getting hurt, and there's some people getting hurt in the foreground. And while we're on that, right, there is some people getting hurt in Townsville, Cairns. All right, horrible up there. What's happened over the weekend, guys? All right, so again, I don't know what we're going to do, because they're not going to get much help from the government. Obviously, this is okay. This is part of their demise, guys. All right, this is what they do. We know what they do. Okay, so they're on it, and they're on it hard, and they're on it hard all the way around the world, guys. This is not just happening here. This is in lockstep. Every country that's kicking up a stink is getting hammered.
The interesting thing about it is it's all being exposed at the moment, though, as well. Like this now, we actually know the reporter.
Is that the IRS, in fact, has been using AI to access bank accounts of American citizens without any kind of a search warrant, or even without any specific claim that they have committed a crime. So this was something that was discovered by an undercover journalist, and what they found is that the IRS has claimed that they have access to every single person's bank account. This person also indicated that they've been working with the Department of Justice, and that they have absolutely no problem whatsoever going after the little guy to make sure that they are paying their taxes. This is such a blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment that Jim Jordan and I sent a letter to the IRS demanding that they provide additional information about what they are doing with AI and what they are doing to protect the civil rights of American citizens.
Just cut the IRS, Trump. Just cut the IRS, Trump. Simple, man.
Well, it's all happening, and now with the whole thing that happened with the regards to the tariffs, there's $188 billion that was wiped off the crypto market today, which is incredible. Now, I did not know this until this person put out this post. Now, this is a list of the tariffs that Canada has put on America in the past. Okay, so milk 270%. Cheese 245%, butter 298%, and chicken 238%. The others are less, but tariffs. And the other thing too is that Trump said today, he said that, look, we're getting so much fentanyl through the border that he has no problems putting the tariffs on. But even though he's put the tariffs on, it only took a very short period of time, because Panama decided to back down and stop the contracts, or not going to renew their contracts with China for the use of the Panama Canal. Yeah. So it's crazy. But on that as well.
While you're throwing, okay, can I butt in for a minute?
Yeah.
Just while you're throwing around statistics, just quickly, Caz. Disease or disorder increased since 1990, guys. since 1990. Okay, listen to this. ADHD, 819% up. Alzheimer's, 229. Autism spectrum disorders, 2,094% up. Bipolar disorder in youth, 10,833%. Celiac disease, 1,100. Chronic fatigue syndrome, 11,000. Depression, diabetes, fibromyalgia, hydroism, lupus, osteoarthritis, sleep apnea, asthma, autoimmune diseases. All these things are up at least 500% or more since 1990, guys. I wonder what's going on. I wonder if they're not poisoning the out of you with everything that you are touching. They are. They are.
Yeah, they are. Look, and the thing is that there's all of the ice roundups that are happening as well in the United States. One of the things that's interesting, and people have missed this, is the Chinese. So they've been rounding up a heap of Chinese people that are, well, could be. But one of now this story has not been huge, and it has been. I think it should be anyway. We've all been saying, how come the Palestinians can come here and protest and demand stuff from us, and why don't we go there? Okay, we finally found an American woman who went to Pakistan. And the guys refused to marry her, or didn't. He basically rejected her as soon as she got the plane, and she's refusing to leave, and she's holding her own press conferences.
It's none of your business. Now go home.
अरे बाहर निकालो, दिखाओ ना हमारे एरिया की बहू है, हमारी बहू है, बाहर निकालो. I am a doctor. I check it one to all.
Make sure y'all get this on your camera. I'm married to Nidel Hamid. I'm Onaija Hamid. We are moving to Dubai very soon. We're going to have our baby in Dubai.
Where is your family now?
It's private. I'm Muslim, and it's against my religion to tell y'all my business. Have a nice day. And he talked too much. That's it.
Yes, that's it. Yes, I'm saying. ये भी देखे यही मेरी बात की तारीफ कर रही है.
Listen. You talk too much. Thank you. Have a good day.
Just have a seat, sister. Have a seat. Please come here. Come. Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Please have a seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pocket, in cash.
She's going to fix the country.
That's a demand to the government. The government is going to fix up these buildings, fix up the streets, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it. Okay? Lock him up. Right now, I'm going to mind my fucking business. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Clear the way.
The irony, eh? So we can go, that's what they want to do to our countries, come in and take over. Well, she wants to do the same thing there. She's making a mockery.
Oh dear, it's funny though. So, all right. So we're being taken out by Norma. So if you would like to wrap up and close the show, I shall hit play.
Okay, Norma, you're a superstar. Well, we've got a court case on tomorrow at Wollongong, people. If anyone would like to turn up, one of our lads are fronting up on some charges. So morning or afternoon. Who knows? But if you could be there at 10 a.m. in the morning, if you can help out in Wollongong just be a witness or whatever. The hospice, guys, I want to talk about.
It's palliative care.
We got Mark Butler promoting RSV vaccines, right, to pregnant women and babies. All right. That's what's going on out there now, guys. All right. In amongst all this information that we're putting out there, these mongrels are still going for our pregnant ladies, right, and our babies. This is just bullshit, all right? But if you're in hospice, which is like palliative care down here in New South Wales or in Illawarra anyway, you can get access to anything. You can get alcohol, you can get cigarettes, you can get plenty of shots of morphine. They hand that out pretty all right. If they want to suck you in, they might give you a remdesivir if you've got a bit of a cold and give you a mask, You can get marijuana. You can get basically anything you want because you're at your end of life. You can get animals brought in to the grounds so you can go and be with the animals.
You don't want to know what you can't get in there, guys? What's not allowed to come in there? A vitamin C infusion for cancer patients. I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why all those things are allowed into hospice except an intravenous vitamin C shot. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, guys? How long are we going to put up with this? Come on, it's ours to take, guys. Let's go get it. Good night. Thanks for all your words about Mum. Here's another little one. God bless you. Yeah, bless you, Mum.
No.
He wouldn't leave.
No. And you wouldn't leave him either.
No. How long were we married?
72
years.
Yep, 72 years.
That's a long time.
Well, I know.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You get less for murder.
Lucky I was around to get you through it. Hey?
Oh, you weren't that bad.
No, I know. They just talk about me.
No, David, you were a fair B at primary school. I have to admit.
I was a fair what?
B.
Oh, bugger. Okay, fair bugger.
School.
At high school, yeah, because...
No, public school up on the hill there.
Yeah, because they were trying to indoctrinate me. I knew.
They were what?
Indoctrinating me. Instead of educating me, they were indoctrinating me.
Well, why didn't I know they were?
Oh, I tried to tell you, you wouldn't listen. You kept hitting me with a feather duster. Oh, you got Mr. Ed? That's why I got the old T-square of Mr. Eddie so many times. You used to ring him up and tell him to get me.
I didn't.
Remember Mr. Eddie?
I was going to say I can remember Mr. Eddie.
And he used to make us bend over and hit us with that T-square.
I know.
Yeah. And you put up, you didn't care.
Well, I guess I thought you deserved it.
You obviously did deserve it.
And you probably damn well did.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I don't know, David. Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who did you knock around with them?
They were bad influences.
Who were
Johnny Burns.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right.
Johnny and Gary Burns, remember?
Yeah, up in Pope's Road.
Yeah, very good, Mum. Very good. And then remember, after school, they moved down near the lake. Remember at Red Hall Parade, and he just took me down there once. I stayed a couple of days.
Yeah, you stayed there.
Yeah.
I come home without you.
Yeah. Yeah, you were pretty happy about that. I hear you cheering all the way down the road.
Fancy all that, didn't you, David?
What?
All that's gone by the wayside. I've forgotten all about that.
Maybe you didn't because you remembered.
Only when you said.
Yeah, but you don't remember things like that unless you're talking about them. Who else did he hang around? Norma? That was bad influence.
Was it you that... Did you knock around with Georgie Phillips? That was Alf.
Alf. Yeah.
That was Alf.
That's how Alf is
Yeah.
where you
I'm not
get
taking
that.
his bads. I got enough of my own. Warren Wakian, Sean Organ.
Yeah, wait a minute. Don't tell me. There was Alf, who lived in the bottom of Grey Street, the third. 1, 2, 3.
Number 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 on Grey Street.
Yep.
And then we came into up past the corner, and then 2 or 3 up, and we walked into the school.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. The public school, yep.
Yeah. And you went around the corner of the public school?
Only to have a fight.
Eh?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, around the corner or what?
Well, you walked in the road.
Yeah.
Like, you went up the road,
and
then you walked in.
Yep. And around, yeah, to get to the buildings, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We used to skateboard down there, remember?
Yeah. And then, wait a minute. Next door